This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, and today is my special guest from New Jersey. I have WWE Hall of Famer, the Birdman himself, Koko Ware. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, man?
Very good. Where are you living these days?
Down in Tennessee, just in God's country.
You grew up there as well, didn't you?
I sure did.
What age did you start getting into professional wrestling as far as watching it as a fan?
Well, it's just like all the other wrestlers, man. We started when we was a kid. It's kind of was in our blood, watching the wrestling and all that, and then it just one thing led to another, and man, here I am into a Hall of Fame and everything, and just went to the top.
As far as your training, was it difficult to find someone to train you when you started, when it was a lot harder to get into the business?
Well, it was back then. It was easy, a lot easier back in the day, because there was guys was training different guys. Just we was training inside of a barn, and they had a lot of little wrestling camps going on, and different guys was promoting their little towns and stuff like that. So that's how actually we started training, was off inside of a barn.
Is it true that you trained at the same time as the Honky Tonk Man?
Yes, Wang and I, we trained together and stuff like that. He's a great friend of mine and all that. We knew him as Wang Ferris at the time. Now he's big Honky Tonk Man. Who. But yes, we worked out. We trained together.
Did they stretch you at all or make you do lots of cardio or anything like that during your training?
Well, I don't know if you're talking about stretching for just he taking me in the ring and taking me down and all that stuff like that. No, I didn't have to do all of that. I just I did a lot of stuff on my own. I was in a real top shape at the time, and so they didn't have to take me through the. I know what you're talking about. They just didn't have to take me through all of that.
Now, your first wrestling name, I think, was Sweet Brown Sugar. Did you come up with that gimmick? And could you tell us a little bit about that gimmick?
Well, it came up in Memphis, Tennessee. I think it was created by either Jimmy Hart or either Jerry Lawler, I believe. I had a loser leave town match, and then I came back as Sweet Brown Sugar no, I came back as Stagger Lee. I'm getting it all turned around. I was Stagger. I had a loser leave town, then I came back as Stagger Lee, and then that ran for a while in Memphis, and then I kind of I did a special. I was like a special referee one night, and I turned heel on Jerry Lawler. So I came back with the first family with Jimmy Hart with Sweet Brown Sugar.
How did you like working with Jerry Lawler in those days?
Oh man, I learned a whole lot from the King, man. I'm telling you, I learned a whole lot. That's where your money was at, was working with Lawler, and plus I stayed in Memphis for 5 years before I even went anywhere, and any territory at all. And when after I left Memphis, I was good to go. I could go work with anybody. I'm talking about I went to my first. I think my first little town was Oklahoma under Leroy McGirt, and then I went all down to the Von Erichs and Bill Watts, Mid South Wrestling, and all that. down in Pensacola with Ron Fuller and all those guys down there. And it was just amazing how I was more experienced, but just working on the Jerry Lawler, and he really, really polished me up real nice and great for me for being as small as I was, but I was pretty good in shape and stuff like that. But working with the bigger guys, he gave me a whole lot better understanding. Working with being a little small guy, working with the big guys and stuff, and that means a whole lot because now you don't see that, and it's a they made this statement. He made this statement. Jerry Lawler made this statement one time. He said, it's always like this. It's going to be this way. Uh, a good little guy can beat a big guy any day, but a good little guy can't beat a big guy, a good big guy any day. So and that's just stuck with me. And I learned my role about going in the ring with the bigger guys and stuff like that. I want to put them over. I want the people to feel sorry for me because I was the little Birdman and stuff like that. I didn't have a chance, but I had enough guts to get into the ring with these big Ugandan muscle guys and stuff. I mean that's what the people just feel sorry for me. Oh my God, Koko don't have a chance. Oh please, Koko, do something. Come on, and then once I beat was some kind of way that they I beat 1, 2, 3 on the big guys and slide out of the ring. The people said, "Man, I can't believe it. Koko just completely just beat this guy here." But it was like a slip up on 1, 2, 3. It just wasn't just right out of the blue. Just I, I did something, drop kicked him and got a 1, 2, 3. I just kind of did my own thing and slipped where he made a big mistake, and I just capitalized on it and stuff like that, and got a 1, 2, 3.
I remember when I interviewed Kamala, he was saying that you guys were friends and remained in contact right up in the years before his death. Do you have any stories that you could share about Kamala?
Well, Big James was great. He was my big brother in the wrestling business, and God bless his heart, and we all still miss him. And I miss him every day. Every time I come out to the wrestling world and come and sign autographs for guys like Eric Sims and different other guys and stuff like that. And I miss James a lot because James and we shared a lot of rooms. We shared the rooms and just a lot of moments together. Rode up and down the road together and everything. He just took me under his wing. That he didn't have to do that, but he did. He just really helped me out a whole lot. And I still hated that he's gone. And he was a great guy. I don't care how many people just say they didn't like him. You must have had to did something to him because he was a lovely guy. And then if you crossed him now, he would get you straight. I guarantee he wouldn't back down from no fight at all. He was tough. But what a sweetheart. What a sweetheart that anybody can have. And I lost a good friend.
There's a fan on here that would like to know about your fight with the masked patriot in the CWA. I guess you got into some type of shoot fight or something.
Well, I want to tell the world this because this has been brought up a whole lot. No, it wasn't a street fight or anything like that. In Memphis, Tennessee, if you wanted to get over in Memphis, you had to be that real tough guy and hellraiser and talk trash on the tube and stuff like that, and where the people can really believe in you that you are a tough guy. And so, and I told the Patriots when we went out there, I said, I'm going to be a little tough on you and stuff like that. I said, I'm not going to knock your eyeball out or anything like that. I said, but we kind of got to lay them in because the people was real close. The TV and they were doing a filming in Memphis. It was real close, and the people could just, at ringside, they could hear everything. And so I couldn't, it's not like at a house show. You can call spots and all that, and people said, "Oh, they don't know what we're saying." But the television in Memphis was that you had to really just lay it in, and you couldn't really talk and stuff like that. But no, going back to him, no, I wasn't trying to knock his head off. I just wanted to look like that. I meant business because they were futuring me to be having a match with Jerry Lawler, and I wanted to show my very best. Was nothing against him. Nothing against him at all. He did what he was supposed to do. Those guys came down to the TV station and they got paid. They got paid good money to put us over. And then they go back and they show their friends on their job. My understanding that, man, look what Koko, he left a mark on me. He left this and probably the Moondogs, they was rough too. I mean, they would beat the hell out of the guys themselves. But they came down there for that. It just wasn't regular wrestlers out here on the road and stuff like that. These guys here had jobs and stuff like that. And on Saturday mornings, they just came down there to put guys put us over. And so, I mean, that's how it was. And I just want to clear that up. I have nothing against the Patriot. The Patriot did a hell of a job for me, and I want to thank him. And there wasn't really nothing.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up. At what point did you come up with the Birdman gimmick and you start bringing the bird to the ring and add Koko B. Ware to your name?
Well, I was down in Louisiana when I was working for Mid-South Wrestling on the promoter Bill Watts. Jim Ross really came up with the B word. I was Koko Ware, and Jim Ross was just going around every week that I saw Jim. He was going around Koko. He said, "I got to come up with something, man." And then finally one Friday night, when Jim Ross said, "Koko B Ware," and I'm going, "Wow." I said, "What's the B stand for?" He said, "Nothing." I said, but he said, "Man, that sounds good, doesn't it?" I said, "Yeah, it sounds good to me, Jim." And so we started calling. That's when we started calling me Koko B Ware, and of course coming up with the bird and all this stuff, man. I had birds on my tights, and I had a meeting with Vince McMahon. I got a meeting with him, and he asked me in the conversation. He said, "Is there anything else that you would love to have for your gimmick?" And I flipped out this picture of this bird, this blue and gold macaw bird, to Vince, and Vince said, "I said, Vince, I would love to have this bird to take with me." And I said, that would help me get over more with the company and with the people that accepted me, all the kids and stuff. Here I am. I'm already a small guy, but this parrot would get me over. I could be up there with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Paul Orndorff. I could be over with these guys big time. And I said, if he said, "Man, you're gonna be taking this bird all over the place." I said, "Vince, this is my gimmick." I said, "I got the birds on my tights. I just need the birds just so I can have and visualize and go out there with the kids and stuff, because my gimmick relates to the kids. They all, when the little Birdman is down and stuff like that, the kids on the front row, they're crying and all this stuff, for me, want me to get up and really make a comeback and do something, and that's how I got the sympathy with all the wrestling fans all over the world because they love me and I love them too for supporting me.
Was it a pain bringing the bird around with you everywhere, or was it a new bird in every town that they just found you?
No, it was the same bird. I mean, it was kind of a pain, but you know what? But I knew it was going to help my character, and it was helping my character. And well, it took me all the way up to the WWE Hall of Fame. So I mean, what I'm saying, I think if I didn't have the bird, it was something different. I may not even made it to the Hall of Fame. I don't know.
There's been some fans asking on here if you could explain what happened with you and Steve Kern in Memphis. I guess there was some type of thing where you beat him up for something, apparently.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean no harm about what I'm gonna say. I really don't want to bring that up because you know, Steve and I we're the best friends, and I want to leave bygones, leave it alone. I have no comment at all on that. It just I'm sorry it happened, but you know, I still don't know why. I still think about things like that. Why did it happen and stuff like that? You know, but we must move on. I think he's been a reborn Christian again, and I'm reborn. I mean, I'm Christian and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. I mean, I want to stay on the good side with Steve and his family. What great, you know, great opportunity, you know, that God, this is what God wants me to do. You know, just not even say anything because I don't want to open up a can of worms again because it's, you know, it's over with. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
How was life on the road back then in the WWF when you guys were traveling for weeks at a time, doing all these towns? I think there was 3 shows a night.
Well, it was we was busy. I mean, you know, especially going through the winter times, through all the Pittsburgh's, Pennsylvania, small roads, 2 lanes, and all that stuff, man. Trying to get through the ice and snow, and you know, but hey, we made it. You know, thank God we made it, and it was just it was an experience, and I miss those. I really miss those days and stuff like that. I had a great time. I really had a great time. I wished my ending would turn out being successful, uh, financial wise, than it did. And then I would have been a happy camper if everything had turned out uh, financially that I had it all laid out for. But it backfired on me. It didn't happen.
And when you first came to WWE, you were coming out to the Bird song from the Prince movie. I think it was The Time sang the song. Was that your idea, or was it Vince that gave you that music?
No, I had the music. I had the music and all that stuff myself. All this bird gimmick came from me. You know, nobody else created this but me and my family. And God bless my wife, and she's gone on to heaven. She died with breast cancer at the age of 46. We came up with this gimmick uh, with the bird and all that stuff, with the song, and and this song here was really good. And then I think we got a phone call from the whoever I can't think his name, Mars Day at the time. I think we got a phone call from his lawyer or something, agent or something, that we had to stop using that song unless they wanted to pay some money or stuff like that. But you know what? I was doing him good because nobody knew about the Bird song, and his on his album he was pushing Jungle Love. And if he had started pushing the bird, can you imagine we could have did a video of this? Me and Mars Day on the stage doing the bird dance and stuff like that. I got it from him. And but they wanted to stop it for some reason. Then I got my own gospel group, and we sung under Jimmy Hart. We cut this bird, do the bird. Said, that's the one we came out with, be singing on this track with my own gospel group. So that's why we had to stop doing with Mars Day. Now we had to stop that.
And of course, everyone remembers you also sang Pile Driver on that wrestling album that was named after that song, Pile Driver.
Yeah, I was the lead singer on that Pile Driver. Man, it was great. Vince came and told me, said, Koko, you mind being the lead singer of Pile Driver for this wrestling video that we're going to shoot out in San Francisco, out there in this big cold, on top of this big cold building at 7:00 in the morning. And then it took them like 3 or 4 hours. I mean, 8 hours. I'm gonna say about 8 hours to shoot this 3-minute video, and it was a lot of fun. But we was on top of this great big building. I never forget it, man. I'm out there with a big hard hat and a sludge hammer, singing. Sometimes love, like a slow dance, you can tiptoe around, but don't make a sound. You can make a little silence romance. But sometimes love feels just right. It feels so good. It feels just like a power driver. Yeah, a power driver. Man, that's what it's all about right there, man.
Yeah, you still got the voice. Did Jimmy Hart write that song?
I think Jimmy Hart wrote it. Him and another one of his friends, Jim McGuire. I know Jimmy McGuire. I don't know. I think
JJ just passed away.
Jimmy McGuire did.
JJ, yeah, literally last week.
Wow. Well, I just heard that he just passed away last week. This is. Oh well, my ear was telling me something that he just passed away.
Oh, that's too bad to hear. I guess you must have known Jimmy Hart from Memphis, and then probably continued friends with him in WWE. Do you have any memories to share of him?
Jimmy Hart was just great, man. First family, I loved it. I mean, man, the mouth of, I call him the mouth of the world. Man, you can't beat him. I'm telling you, he's a hustler. He works. He don't never stop. I think he's working when he's sleeping at night. He's working. And because he's got a lot of energy. And Jimmy Hart, I really love him, man. Me and him used to run up and down Memphis to Louisville, Kentucky, to Nashville, to Jonesboro, Arkansas, man, Tupelo, Mississippi. I mean, we did it all, man. We did it all. Jimmy was just right there, man. He had some bad experience with on his music situation with the Gentrys. They was the Gentrys and stuff like that. That somebody, I don't know, took the money and ran. I don't know, but I don't know what happened. But anyway, and Jimmy's been running ever since. I'm talking about ever since. I love him, man. I love him like he's my brother.
You had some famous matches with Macho Man Randy Savage. How did you like working with him, and what did you think of him outside of the ring?
I had some good matches with Randy. I mean, back when they came into Memphis, and Angelo Poffos, his father, and Leaping Lanny, they came in, and I worked with Randy. I mean, I got along with Randy great. I mean, Randy was super with me. I mean, cause I really wasn't trying. I really wasn't just someone to carry on a whole bunch of mess and try to stir up a whole lot of mess and try to create a problem and all this stuff. I mean, it just wasn't me. I was just, hey man, I got along with you guys. I mean, I didn't have to. I didn't. Sometimes I went out to the bars and stuff. We had a beer or something like that. Then sometimes, hey, I stayed in my room and stuff like that. And so I really didn't really really know Randy personal like some people because I wasn't around him like that. I was only around him in the wrestling business. I knew when they used to come to Memphis, man, him and Randy, him and what's his brother name?
Lanny.
Uh,
Lanny Poffos.
Lanny, yeah, I'm sorry. When him and Lanny Poffos would come to Memphis, they would sleep in their Mercedes car out in the parking lot waiting on the Memphis show. They would get there on Sunday nights and they would sleep in there until on Mondays. We had Monday Night Wrestling on Monday there at the Mid-South Coliseum, and they would be out there in their car sleep. But they was a money saving family, according to his father and stuff like that. He always preached about saving money. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save. He'd rather be rich than dead, poor than alive. That was his motto,
Did you have much interaction with Elizabeth?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, just hey Koko, how you doing? Very nice. Hey Elizabeth, how you? And that's it. I mean, other than that, Randy kept the doors locked.
Now, I guess Paul Roma has told the story about your little thing in WWE with him. Is that something else you don't want to really get into, or?
Me and Paul Roma, we made up and stuff like that. I still, I don't want to say anything. Just, to stir this thing back up again or whatever. And all I'm gonna say that he was wrong and I was wrong, so we both was wrong. So let's forget it. And it's over with now. Let's move on to a better life.
You got a victory over Harley Race in New Jersey. He's one of the all-time greats. Any memories of working with him?
Harley Race, man, I love working with Harley. I mean, he taught me a lot too, man. I mean, just being, he didn't have to, but he loved me so much because he saw me work before with different guys and stuff like that. And Harley, man, he just went out there and worked. I mean, worked me real good and stuff like that, and learn. And I had to learn. I learned a whole lot working under Harley Race, and also I worked with Ric Flair in 1984. I was the first black that had a title match with Ric Flair in the Mid-South Coliseum. All guys like that came through there, man. They loved me. They loved me because I listened and I was humble, and that's the reason why I got along with a lot of guys.
Yes, now that you mention that, I think you replaced Bill Dundee or something in that match, didn't you? And then
I sure did. Yeah, we shot a thing off of TV. If I beat Bill Dundee, I would get a title match with Ric Flair that Monday night. And of course, didn't nobody smarten Rick up. He was just kind of excited about coming to Memphis, and he working against, I think, either Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler or somebody. And then they said, "No, you were working against Koko B. Ware." He said, "Who in the hell is Koko B. Ware? Wait a minute, where this guy come from?" And found out I met with Rick and stuff like that. And I said, "Rick, I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, man." He said, "You sure you can follow?" I said, "Man, I can follow you, Rick. I can follow you big time." He said, "Okay, we'll see when we get out there." And We went out there, we tore the house down. Went 25 minutes and tore the house down.
Did you ever get the chance to go out with Ric Flair over the years? I know you were mostly a babyface and he was mostly a heel.
Well, at one time, we was overseas. Rick had Rick would always go in and walk in and tell the bartender, "Hey, set them up. He want to buy everybody in here a drink." And he would buy everybody a drink in the bar. I'm talking about everybody. And Rick was just a high roller, special, great guy, man. His standard was very, very high and stuff like that. And I admire him. He lived the Ric Flair dream, the natural Ric Flair. He lived it. I can say he lived it to the fullness, man. And I'm proud of Rick. I mean, and I'm so happy that Ric Flair is doing a whole lot better. I love Rick. I saw him back at a convention center, man. We'd hug and stuff like that after we were glad to see each other. And I'm just glad he got through the sickness and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was a bit of the opposite of the Poffos. He would spend a lot where they would save everything, I guess.
Exactly.
How did you get along with Hulk Hogan behind the scenes?
Well, you know what? I got along with Hogan real well because in Memphis, that's where when he left, him and Beefcake left Florida with Mike Graham and Eddie Graham. They came up to Memphis, Tennessee, and under Jerry Jarrett, the promoter, and we started working out with Hogan and stuff like that, and Beefcake, and you know what? One night they just told Hogan, I want you to just go out there and shoot the guy in, and just give him a big bear hug and shake him and drop him for about 10 times. Beefcake, of course, he wasn't Beefcake then. It was Eddie Boulders and Terry Boulders. And it said, Beefcake, I want you to shoot the guy in and slam him. Just pick him up and slam him. Just pick him up and slam him about 10 times. And then when y'all do that, then y'all both cover the guys and pin them. 1, 2, 3. And of course, Hulk was just like, come back to the dressing room. Oh, man, I want to learn. I want to do more than that. I just want to do more than that. And big time. Man, I want to be able to clothesline somebody. I want to be able to drop kick somebody and stuff like that. And then I said, Hogan, come on, let's go. We're going to, I know a buddy's got a ring inside of a barn. Let's go work out up in Dyersburg, Tennessee. I took Hogan and Beefcake there, and we started working out in the little old town of Dyersburg. And I showed Hogan and said, oh, you don't need to be drop kicking, so you're too big for that. So I said, Hogan, you just need to know how to use your fists. You need to know how to clothesline somebody and stuff like that. You need to learn how to drop your leg on their throat or do the splash on somebody. You need to do nothing but big man stuff. And Beefer, you just go out there and you don't have to do the big man. You can do the slam. You can do a small package on the guy. You can do a whole lot of things than just picking the guy up and slam him. And you can run and drop an elbow on the guy and then cover him 1, 2, 3. And we did that for a while, and then he finally Hogan and them, they left and they went to Minneapolis, Vergonia. And then I didn't see Hogan no more until 1987 when I got accepted in the WWE. And I was already in the dressing room, and Hogan walked in the dressing room, and he looked over in the corner. And he said, "Man, I just be dang." He said, "Holy, holy." There was Paul Orndorff. I don't know who else was there. I know it was Paul Orndorff was in the room. There was maybe Andre the Giant and all that stuff. Hogan came over and picked me up and just shook me like a sack of potatoes or something, just shook me. He said, y'all just don't know. This is this little F right here. He's the one that helped me in Memphis, Tennessee, helped us in Memphis, Tennessee, when nobody else would, you know. And I was just, man, I just thought Hogan and forgot all about that and that stuff like that, you know. He said, "Welcome, man, to WWF, man. Golly, I'm glad you made it." And Hogan and I, we've been friends ever since. And Terry, I don't know your number to be in contact with you and stuff like that. I just love to hear from you sometime because you know what, you're still a great guy to me. I love you because you helped me out and you gave me rides in the limo in WWE and stuff like that. I mean, you helped me save some money. You know, when the towns was down and stuff like that, gave me a ride. Come on, Koko, ride with me in the limo, and you don't have to worry about getting a rental car. Man, that's super nice of you doing that. Thank you again.
Did you ever talk to him about coming to WCW in the mid 90s there when he was bringing a lot of his buddies into WCW?
No, I never did talk to him about that. That's the thing. I never did even try to get to WCW or anything like that myself. Even when in the '90s when I left Vince in '94, well, I didn't leave Vince. They just gave him my notice. I mean, they didn't give me a 2 weeks notice. But God bless their heart. I'm not mad at them. I still, if it weren't for WWE, I wouldn't be Koko B. Ware right now, and along with Memphis and everybody else that supported me.
You mentioned Andre the Giant earlier. How did you get along with him?
Well, I got along with him good, but sometimes just Giant. He just depends on who you were. And some days he'll talk to you, some days he won't talk to you, and you never know what's on the Giant's mind. Because I never sat down and he played cribbie a lot, if I'm saying it right. This little thing that he was playing like a little kid, man. He loved playing that. And so I never did really, I never did really get around to just to know him. But in the ring, I think we did a battle royal one time. I kept running into him and stuff like that, wanted him to pick me up and throw me over the top rope and stuff like that. I was gonna just kind of dive over, but it was I was trying to highlight it, but he couldn't really understand what I was trying to do. But he just said, "Get out of here!" So I just, took the bump over the top and said, "Okay, all right, forget it."
And what about Roddy Piper? Did you ever wrestle him over the years?
I didn't get a chance to work with Piper, but Piper was a number one friend of mine too. I mean, Piper and I would, man, we shared a lot of things together and stuff like that that I'm not going to mention and stuff like that. But Roddy Piper, Ronnie, he was great, man. I mean, he was what a good guy if he liked it. Ronnie didn't like it, he wouldn't have anything to do with it. But I'm just saying, but man, I'm telling you, and that's just the way a lot of the wrestlers was brought up. If they like you, they'll take the shirt off their back for you. And but some of them, they just, we just kind of accept them being there, but we didn't have to say a whole lot to them. Like Haku, oh my God, I love him. I love the Samoans, the whole Samoans family and all that stuff. Sika and Alpha and all those. Oh my God, it wasn't nothing but great people. See, I'm telling you, I'm not going to say anything. If I can't say anything good about a person right now, I'm not going to say anything at all to hurt them and their family. I just want, bygones to be bygones or whatever in the wrestling business. I just want to, hey, I'm a forgiving. God is a forgiving God, and I want whatever anybody that I have done anything to, I want to say that I'm sorry. Forgive me. I was probably in my wild days or whatever days it was. Forgive me. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on to a better life.
Yeah, so I'll just this probably falls under the same category, but I guess you had something happen where a WWE official got fired for being racist to you, and you ended up teaching him a bit of a lesson. And do you put that under the same category? I think his name
Yeah,
was
under the
Jim Troy.
same, it was Jim Troy. It was Vince's executive, and he was totally wrong. I mean, now he was totally wrong, but I don't want to discuss it because you know what, Jim, I still love you, and hope you're doing great. And man, God bless you and your family, and I just hope you're doing great. I'm doing okay. God's still blessing me, and man, I can't say nothing. When we were wrong, you know that you were wrong, and when you're right, you know that you was right. And then the bottom line, God is the judge. He gonna know that you who was right and who was wrong. So he's gonna pick us up both. Both of y'all was wrong. He gonna slap us together. One of y'all was right. Then he gonna say, stand up. And one of you wrong. He gonna take his fist and hit you over the head. Bang. Case is closed.
Now, WrestleMania III, you were wrestling against Butch Reed. That was a massive event. Any memories of that show?
Yeah, Butch and I, we went out there and tore the house down. Tore the house down. We had for an open WrestleMania 3. I thought we put on one heck of a bout. In fact, we felt like it could have been the main event. That's how our mind was set. Everybody, all the matches should have been their mind should have been set on main event. But we WrestleMania 3, I still go back and look at pictures and stuff like that, and just thank God, man, all the folks that came out to see this little black boy from Union City, Tennessee, man, have made it all the way up to the top, and 93,000 people is came out to see him shine, you know, and that's what made me feel good. When I look back and sleeping in that bed as a little kid, man, and just dreaming about this professional wrestling and being up on that stage and on that granddaddy of all, man, being on that stage and stuff like that, man. That dream, it was a dream at home as that little kid, but that dream came true. It came true, and I said I could feel like a shout on right now because, man, I'm telling you the truth. I I dreamed about this, that I would be on stage with the best of them coming out of Union City, Tennessee. And I'm so proud of my hometown. I love my hometown. I was the first black football player on the team of Union City Golden Tornadoes. Man, I everybody thought it was Union City, New Jersey, where I was from, but no, I'm not from Union City, New Jersey. There's nothing wrong with Union City, New Jersey. Whoop whoop. But you know what? I'm from Union City, Tennessee.
Another first that you had is you're the first wrestler to ever take the Undertaker's tombstone pile driver in his debut match at Survivor Series 1990. Any memories of that? And are you surprised at the legacy he's had over the years?
No, I'm not surprised because I knew he was, I love the gimmick myself. In fact, I love Mark. Mark was another good friend of mine. When he started, was coming up through the ranks, and I love Mark. Mark is just they just found a gimmick to fit him perfectly, and he taken it and have made tremendous kind of all type of money, you know, And so I mean, it's been really good for him. That gimmick has been really good, and I am happy that that I was the first. I was the first. I'm gonna say the first little guinea pig that took the tombstone, because that was his first time ever doing the tombstone on someone. And Mark didn't have it down completely, and my neck kind of slipped, and my whole head hit the canvas, and it kind of I just heard something popping in around my neck and stuff like that, and I just kind of, oh my God, I thought it kind of it didn't kind of break my neck because I could still move it. I just heard little things popping that I just had to sit there on the mat and just really sell it for real. And when I got back to the dressing room, I said, "Oh, my neck, man, God!" And then Mark said, "Koko, I'm sorry, man. You know, this is my first time doing that, and man, I'm sorry if I hurt you." He was very humble guy. Very. So I'm sorry. He said, "I wasn't trying to." He said, "I know you wasn't, Mark. I know you wasn't, brother." I said, "Hey, it'll get better. It'll get better. The more you keep doing it, it's gonna get even better." And that's why I thank Mark now uh, for his successful. I'm proud of him. You know, he took that Undertaker gimmick and he made nothing fortune or money, big money, and I hope he's putting it away. And because that rainy day is coming, that he won't be able to do that no more. And then and my rainy day is coming too, but I'm gonna be short of the stick because for some reason, everybody was on a different pay scale than in the wrestling business. Everybody was on a different pay scale. But that's all I gotta say about Mark. Hey, I was the first one, yes, and I was the first match for Monday Night Raw for Yokozuna. All those guys. I love them all. Samoans, I'm telling you, I love them.
You also had a big victory over Nikolai Volkov on Saturday night's main event. I think that really helped put you on the map. Any thoughts on that?
Man, I was so happy, and I was kind of wasn't really. Well, I was kind of a little nervous about for them putting me over on putting me over Nikolai because my size. And I'm going. I said I don't have a 204 to knock him out with. I don't have a chair to blast his head with. I said, man, what can we do? Because I wanted to do something that is going to make sense. And I think Pat Patterson said, Koko, man, all we want you to do is go out there and let Nikolai go out there and beat the hell out of you. And then somewhere he missed something. And then you just come behind him, a schoolboy, and just roll him up one fast count, 1, 2, 3, and slide out of the ring. Boom, bingo. And man, I was, that made sense, and I was happy. Nikolai was happy. Didn't really hurt him because he was back on his feet in less than some seconds.
What did you think about the Iron Sheik, and do you have any stories about him from behind the scenes?
Well, the Iron Sheik was another good guy I loved and stuff like that. He was funny too. He's the only one that Vince McMahon fired 11 times. He fired him 11 times and brought him back 11 times. And nobody, once Vince gets finished with you, he's done. But he kept bringing Sheik back and all that. And one night we was having some kind of a drug test. I mean, and Vince done told all of us, hey, you guys better clean up. We're gonna have a drug test in 2 weeks. We want everybody to be clean. So Nikolai said, "You hear that, Sheik? He wants you to be clean." I got it, Nikolai. You don't tell me what to do. What's wrong with you, Nikolai? You get over and sit down. You know, they were arguing back and forth like two women, man, love each other. And so the night we had the urine test, when Vince came back, we don't have the urine test. Vince came back with the results, and of course, Iron Sheik was doing those club things in the dressing room, getting warmed up. So Vince comes over to Iron Sheik and said, "Vince," he said, "Sheik, yes, sir." He drops the clubs down. He stands into an Iranian, I guess, soldier stand, I guess. I don't know. When he started twirling on his little mustache, he said, "You tested positive in your pee-pee." And boy, Sheik said, "Really? Thank you. Thank you." So hitting his chest. "Thank you very much, Vince. Thank you." See there, Nikolai? He was marching around the room, said, "Thank you, Nikolai. Thank you, Nikolai. See there, Nikolai? I told you I would." And he said, boy, everybody was on the floor laughing. Vince said, "Don't worry about it. I'll be back in a minute. Sheik, I'll be back." "Okay, thank you, sir." And boy, see there, and Nikolai said, "Sheik, you don't understand." "What you mean I don't understand?" "I do understand. He said, I tested positive. What do you think?" He said, "I know what he said." He said, "Okay, Sheik." So Vince come back. Vince said, "Sheik, yes, sir." He said, "What I meant, your pee-pee has something in it. And it wasn't good. It was some little stuff in there that we weren't supposed to take. I'm not gonna say it on the camera." And then Sheik said, "Oh, seriously?" Oh, he started twirling on the mustache. "I'll be damned. You know, Vince, Don Morocco give me that shit." He pointed over at Don Morocco, and Don Morocco said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. Why'd you put me in this? Why'd you put me in this sheet? I can't believe it." You know, well, everybody thought that was the funniest thing in the world, that that he didn't understand what he tested positive means and all that stuff.
Are you surprised that the Iron Sheik outlived Nikolai Volkov, considering he partied and Nikolai was clean his whole life?
Well, not really, because you know what? We can all go in a minute. It is. We don't have a number. We all got numbers on it, but that's up to God. I mean, who knows? I mean, we might be gone tomorrow. We might be gone today. We can't. But I never did. I don't never look at life that way at all. That, hey, and I just think death comes as a reason, and stuff like that. When it hits you, it not just hits you, it hits everybody hard, family, kids and all that stuff. It hits them big time.
One guy that was taken away too young was Owen Hart, who you were high energy tag team partners with. Any memories of teaming with him over the years?
Yeah, Owen Hart, he was great. He was another tag team partner that I had and stuff like that. Besides Norvell Austin, Bobby Eaton, and man, in fact, you know what? Bobby Heenan, the one that put Owen Hart and myself together. Uh, Bobby came up and said, "Hey, Koko, we want to put you and Owen Hart up as high energy." And I said, "Great." I mean, and that was the first black and white team that the WWE ever had, and we was getting over big time. And today I still don't know why they took that away from us. Cause the fans and everybody that supported us, they was wanting us to be champions, and we had the biggest crowd behind us too. And I still don't know why they just completely just stopped it. But Owen Hart was great, man. he was a great guy. I mean, with a great, he loved ribbing with the Nasty Boys and all that stuff. He didn't reel me too much because Owen Hart and I, we was just business and laughable type of tag team that we discuss about with things, how we're gonna do it and stuff like that. I mean, but we never did cut up with each other like that. We were still great friends. I've been to Bret Hart's home in Calgary, Stu Hart's Dunyon and stuff like that. I mean, what a great family. Jim Daniel, Neidhart, and all that stuff. I mean, what a great family that they was brought up on, and I got a chance to meet.
What were your thoughts when he passed away? Do you remember hearing about it?
Yes, I heard about it, and my heart just dropped. You know, and I really, really felt sorry for him and his wife and kids. He had babies. He had some little babies there, man. And I just feel bad. And then I looked at that blue blazer suit. Uh, that's the only one fact that I wore. I wore his blue blazer suit. I was the only one that he let me wear. Is the one he got killed in, and that was heartbreaking, man. That was real heartbreaking, big time. And so I better stop talking about that because I still get emotion about it. It just.
Did you have a favorite match as high energy, favorite tag team to wrestle?
Actually, the Nasty Boys, believe it or not. I mean, we had some incredible matches with the Nasty Boys, and we just had fun with those guys. I mean, we love working with those guys. They put us over, we put them over. They put us over, we put them back over, and all that stuff. So we went back and forth. It just had a great time. But everybody was good though. Everybody, the tag team was good, but the Nasty Boys was a little more character, a little better than matches that we had.
You were also in the Beyond the Mat movie. How did you like that experience? I know Jake Roberts said he never got paid anything for it. Were you paid anything?
Well, I didn't either. I didn't get paid either. So, I mean, I only did this because it was helping Jake out and stuff like that. And then the guy came and shut all this video stuff with me and Frankie in the bed sleeping and all that stuff. We were sleeping and we just, having fun with the bird and all that stuff. And this guy talking about, I still don't know the guy's name and stuff like that, but there's nothing I can do about it now, but I understand that he did make some money off of it, over maybe $1 million or something. And he sold it to international, whatever. I just heard rumors, so you know what rumors is all about. So, but for the guy, he never came and said about what we're gonna make it on this shoot, and so that's the reason why right now I'm a little skeptical about doing anything in movies or whatever it costs for that reason. And I don't even know. I'm sure Vince McMahon them. I'm sure they got paid. I'm sure they got paid real well. But I didn't get paid either, and I was a big part of that movie. And in fact, sometimes I say, "You remember Beyond the Mat or whatever?" I said, no, I don't even want to talk about it.
And final question for Frankie: is it true that he passed away in a house fire? A bunch of fans have been asking.
Yeah, Frankie one passed away. I got to say that because it was in a house fire that we don't know what happened. In fact, my whole family just went to church. I'm really high in church, and I play lead guitar in the church, sing in the male chorus, and every Sunday, and we was we just left the house. In about 10 minutes, the deacon said, y'all need to go home. Your house is on fire and stuff like that. And I said, oh, and I thought about Frankie's there. I said, oh my God. And, you know, so we rushed. We was only probably about 4 or 5 blocks away. And so when we got there, of course, the firemen was there, everybody was there. And the firemen, by the time I got there, they done kicked the back door in and all that. And he said, Koko, I'm sorry I couldn't save your kid. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, your kid was saying, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. Because Frank, when he wants to get out of the cage, that's what he'll say. Let me out, until you go over there and unlock the lock and let him out. Then he's okay. You know, when he wants to go back in, he'll go back in on his own. But when he wants to come out of the cage, he gonna say it over and over. Let me out, let me out. And that's what happened on that fireman. He heard that bird in there saying, let me out, let me out. He thought it was my kid. He said, man, it sounds just like a kid saying, let me out. And then I told him, I said, well, he was like a kid, but he wasn't my kid. And Frankie, he said that was my pet bird that I take on the road with me. All the wrestling fan loves this bird here and stuff like that. And the guy said, oh no. He said, man, I just knew that was one of your kids. And so the fireman brought me Frankie in a little brown bag. And don't you know, I never opened the brown bag. I just kind of took the brown bag, and of course the tears came down, you know, from the Birdman and stuff, and my family. And we just had a funeralized Frankie right there in my backyard. And hopefully he's flying up there with God. And hope we all see him one day. But then turn around, God blessed me with another Frankie. Same color and everything. And now I have Frankie Jr. at home. And I'm so happy. I mean, he's just as good as Frankie's. He's tame. He's just a lovely bird. I love birds anyway. But God blessed me with another Frankie Jr.
That's a sad story, and I'm glad that you have a new one. Eric Sims from ESS Promotions hooked us up with this interview, so thanks to him. Do you have any social media or anything where the fans can follow you?
Oh, no, I don't have anything like that. You have to go through Eric Sims. God bless his heart. And there's many wrestling promoters out there. You know, I just want to just say thank you guys for supporting Koko Ware and stuff like that. You know, bring me in your town. I mean, I love to come there and sign autographs. I don't get in the ring no more and try to see what I can do if I still got it, the drop kick off the top rope and all that stuff. My days is over with that. But I will sign my autographs. I will sign I can't sign no more. And you know what? I just want to thank all of you all. I want to thank all the wrestling business out there. I want to thank WWE, you know, for giving me that opportunity. I'm not upset with you all. I still love the WWE. Vince McMahon, I have nothing against you at all. None of the guys. I just want to say, hey, I want to get along, you know, because there's a better life waiting on us. It's a better life ahead.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons